Hey guys, it's Spacey Sims, and we are back with more Battlefield Waltz, continuing Tivalet's route. I am tired. It is like 2 hours past when I would normally log off work. Okay, I mean, technically, like, my brain shuts down at like 3, but I normally am like done by 4, like I log off at 4. It's only 5 o'clock now, which feels like 8 o'clock because of the stupid fallback bullshit, and you're like, it's dark out. The sun is going down. It's 5 o'clock. What the shit? But I swear to God, we had some issues that we were working out, which everything got resolved, so great. And, you know, it was like, whatever, but it was one of those, like, so it wasn't a day where, like, you have issues, you're like, everything is awful, and I can't figure it out, and I'm gonna cry, which is me half the time. This is why when I was on vacation with my mom, we were walking around all these little stores, and I found a magnet, and I'm like, I'm buying this for myself, and I have a lamp that's metal on my desk, and it's stuck to the lamp, thank God. I'm like, yeah, it's magnetic, cool. And it says, I'll get over it, I just need to be dramatic first, because that's exactly how I am at work. If I am stressed out and something is bothering me, I will break down and be like, I am the worst, I am so stupid, it's just, I can't, and I'll cry, and I'll literally have a breakdown, and then 5 minutes, and then I'll, like, walk away, whatever, come back, and I'm like, oh, okay, I just needed to do this thing right here, okay. Like, and then I figure it out. But I have to have a mental fucking breakdown first. Even my boss will be like, you'll figure it out. You always figure it out. I'm like, I know. I just have to be dramatic and have a breakdown first. But I know I'm going to figure it out. I cannot sometimes, if I'm sitting there for like hours trying to look through stuff, and I'm like, I don't get it. I'm not the type of person who's like, yeah, I don't get it. It's weird. I'll be like, why is everything awful? And I will literally have a mental meltdown. And then I'm like, oh, wait, right here? Oh, okay, that's it. And then I figure it out like it's no big deal. But I have to have that breakdown first, because otherwise my brain will not process what I'm seeing. Like, I'll be looked at the same line of code for like 3 damn days, and I will not get it until I've looked at it after a breakdown, and then I'm like, oh, yeah, okay. All right, cool. It's just the way my brain operates. It needs to fucking have some freakouts, and it needs to be a drama queen. Whatever. But today it was more like, we're trying to figure out issues, and okay, we'll figure it out, but the system was running so slow. It took like 5 minutes, you click something, and you're like, okay, just wait for it. Give me 5 minutes for it to do its thing. And it's like, because we've got another team that's doing updates on the same, like, things that we're doing, and it's like, oh my God, it made everything run slow because I'm not using their version of stuff. But it would take 10 times longer for me to, like, to manually take my code and put it in. I have to manually copy and paste everything. And I'm like, and they change what they're doing every few days because whatever. So I'm like, I can't do that right now. I can't wait. Can't wait. It's got to wait until like next week or the week after when they're done with their stuff. But like for right now, I'm like, I can't deal with this. Like, God, it took forever. So it took us 10 times longer working together to figure out what the issue was, and it would have probably taken maybe an hour. Instead it took like 2, or actually it probably would have taken like 30-40 minutes. It wasn't even, because it'd be like, okay, try it now. Okay, that didn't work. Okay, try it now. But the try it now took 20 fucking minutes, you know. But anyway, longest story in history, still fucking long. We're about to bump into someone after we left Mephisto who, funnily enough, was like, yeah, not going to apologize and not going to be nice to Tifalet. And I love it. Anyway. Oh, excuse me. I was irritated when I opened the door and accidentally bumped into someone. I was going to say it's one of our boyfriends, but wouldn't really make sense. Is it Alias? Nope, it's Mia. You know, she was my second guess. I said, is it Alias? And then I was thinking, you know what? I wonder if it's Mia because we already saw her in the graveyard. Well, we didn't see her in the graveyard. We saw her in the thing, and she looked a little sad or whatever. Like, we saw her, like, not last part, but the part before. So, like, I was thinking that in my head, and then it was her. Damn it. I should have said it out loud, but it's fine. Hello. I'm sorry. You should be more careful. This is the infirmary. You could have bumped into someone that was injured. Yes, I will. Very good. You may leave. I bowed and then left the scene. She better not be, like, wasn't upset and crying about Mephisto, because, like, you can't have him, Mia. I will punt you into the sun. That's the best thing I could think of. You better not. It's not. He's not for you. He's for me. Also, don't try Tifalet either, because he's clearly my boyfriend. Tifalet, I didn't have to deliver the Lunaria flowers today, but because of what happened yesterday, I went to visit Tifalet. Oh, hello. What brings you here? Are you worried about me? Well, I guess so. Tifalet was organizing some dried herbs. He didn't appear to be in a bad mood. I sure was irritated last night, but not anymore. That's good to hear. Do you want something to drink? I'm not as good of a host as Shaolei, but I can at least get you some herbal tea. Thank you. I'd love some. Okay then. Have a seat. I'll be ready soon. Speaking of which, I don't remember ever staying here for so long. She literally just walked in and was like, "Sup?" And he's like, "Are you worried?" And she's like, "Yeah." And he's like, "You want some tea?" And she's like, "I haven't been here this long." 3 lines of conversation, and this is a long time. Ever since I started delivering flowers, I came here a few times a week. I mean, to be fair, she like walks in, "Here you go." Okay, conversation. Bye. But this is about the length of time she's normally stayed here. But now that I thought about it, it was the first time I sat down to have a cup of tea. That's valid, yes, but the first time I came here, Shaolei ended up dragging me to his shop because Tifalet didn't have any sweets, didn't he? I giggled a little thinking about it. Did you remember something funny? Oh, so sorry. Yeah, I did. Remember when Shaolei complained about you not having any sweets? Oh, yes, and he dragged you to a shop. I still don't have any, but I hope you enjoy that tea. Thank you. I brought the cup to my lips and smelled a sweet fragrance. He made it pretty fast. It smells nice. That's the Lunaria tea. Oh, I've never heard of it before. You can only find elixirs at taverns, and only Nirvana students can drink it. Everyone in town's allowed to have this tea. Oh, really? It's amazing how many uses that flower has. It does. That's why I need you to keep delivering them. Sorry about the other day. I don't mind anymore. I took another sip of the tea. I was a bit embarrassed to look Tifalet in the eye. To look Tifalet in the eye. I don't know if I've ever heard anyone say look at someone in the eye. You look at someone, or you look them in the eye. You don't look at them in the eye. That just seems so wordy, despite the fact that "at" is the only extra word in there, but doesn't it? Okay. You're different from other girls, so I keep messing up. Should I be complimented by that? Like, you're not like other girls. Oh, please. Don't start that shit. We're all like each other. Listen, you're either basic bitch A or basic bitch B. Okay? You're basic bitch A if you're like, "Oh my god, it's pumpkin spice season." Basic bitch A. Okay? Basic bitch B is like, ew, pumpkin spice. It's peppermint mocha. Okay? That's basically it. You know, I mean, and I know there's going to be someone who's like, "I don't like either one of those." Well, you're basic bitch C. Okay? Like, we all basic bitches in somewhere. Listen, we are all unique snowflakes in one way, but we're basic bitches in about 10 other ways, and then we're kind of weird, but still like a bunch of other people in another handful of ways. You know what I mean? Like, you're never going to be completely motherfucking unique. But at the same time, we're all unique because we're not all 100% the same. But in the Venn diagram of basic bitches, we overlap completely. There is not one goddamn girl who's floating out there in the ether like, "She doesn't overlap with any of us. She's not like the rest of us." Like, we're all like each other in some way, shape, or form. Okay? You and I, personally, may not be alike in any way. I mean, that's not true. We play Otome games. There you go! We're not unique! Okay? But, like, we might not be alike in 99 other ways out of 100. But we have one thing in common. And then, even if you meet someone, you're like, you will have one thing in common with them, probably. Or even if you don't overlap with them, you're like, me and this person, I'm like, not like other girls, as in not like her. But you are like someone else. You know what I mean? Like, It's a chain. It's a chain. We all overlap someone somewhere, okay? Like, so it's just, I hate that you're not like other girls. Yes, I fucking am. I mean, okay, I get what he's saying here, though. It's like, you're not like everyone else when I say, like, I want to die, and they're like, I'll die with you, and they act all dramatic and throw themselves at me. You're not giving me the same responses, and that's weird. So technically, we aren't like, quote unquote, other girls that he's used to. But it still feels weird when you say that, you know? It's the stigma around saying you're not like other girls. I'm not like other girls. They like pink, but I'm totally into black. Yeah, you and like every goth girl out there. You know what I mean? Anyway. I'm being nitpicky because my brain hurts. So, anyway. It is funny, though, when he's like, so I keep messing up. So you try to impress all the ladies that come into your shop? Well, it goes back to the lonely, drama queen or whatever, attention seeker, lonely attention seeker. So it goes back to he's seeking some attention and women come in and they're like, oh my God, Tifa, you're so gorgeous. Oh my God. And he's like, I want to die. And she's like, I'll die with you. And he's like, oh. So then he tries the same shtick on us and we're like, what the fuck? And he's like, huh. Not the reaction I expected. And then he's not used to people being like, what the fuck? Have some self-respect. What? And then I keep messing up. Are you trying to impress me? You're trying to lure me in with all the other girls? Interesting. You said something like that before. Well, he sure did. He smiled gently at me. I looked at him again just to observe how handsome he was. He was almost too handsome. His beauty was art, but since he wasn't, his expressions changed every now and then. I love that. His beauty was art, but he isn't. You know what I mean? Like, his beauty was art, but since he wasn't, because art is static, it doesn't move. But, like, he's so beautiful, he's like art, except for he moves, so he's not art. That's just a really not as beautiful way of putting it, but whatever. Maybe I can tell you. Tell me what? My secret. Ooh, do tell. I've got tea and everything. Wait, hold on, guys. Go make some tea, for real. Are you back? Did you make tea? Do we all have tea? I did not make tea. I'm fucking with you. But seriously, did you go make tea? I gave you time. And you know how to pause. So, do you have tea? I'm going to pretend. I already drank coffee twice today. It's not much of a big deal, though. Do you still want to know? I don't really care is such a douche answer. Of course the answer is yes. Okay, I was like, oh my God, I don't really care. I don't really care. Oh! There are people who don't like Tifa and who are like, oh God, I don't care. I do. Really? I'll tell you. I mean, of course that's the right answer. Could you imagine being like, I don't care, and him being like, oh, you're aloof, I like it. I have amnesia. What? Okay. First of all, I fucking called it. 2, what the fuck? Seriously? Which is just not the right chain of thoughts when he's like, I have amnesia, and you're like, I told you! What did we say in the last part when Mephisto was like, looking at Tifa like, a really powerful mage gave up a lot to put that spell out there. And we were like, was it Tifa? Does he just not remember? Is that what it is? And that's probably exactly what it fucking is. But also, then you're like, oh, Jesus Christ, the amnesia thing. Someone always has amnesia. We need to bring back the Spacey Go boards. We need to update it. But I need to bring it back. And I need to print one out for myself, because it's been like 84 years. That was very short-lived, and I didn't keep up with it. But, because I'm pretty sure someone's got amnesias on the fucking bingo board. Like, in case you weren't here when that was a thing for like 5 minutes, it was very short-lived. It was a bingo board. But it was Spacey Go, not bingo. Get it? And we had more spaces. And there was like, one of the things was somebody has amnesia. Somebody's looking like, you know what I mean? Like, and like, me fawning over Blushy Boys. Somebody has glasses. It should have been on there. I don't know if that was. Like, Then what should be on there is Spacey being like, let me bang my brother. Because that comes up whether we have a brother character or not. You know? You guys could probably come up with shit I say on repeat. And you'd be like, every single time. How many times do I whip out a Little Mermaid reference or, whatever? Daddy, I love him. That one in particular. So shit like that. And then you check off your bingo board. Or you do a shot every time something... You'd be really fucking drunk, let's be real. But I need to bring that back. I will get on that maybe by 2030. Okay, anyway. Amnesia, though, was definitely on the board. What? I don't remember anything before I came to this town. I was already living here in my earliest memory. Yeah, I'm going to guarantee he's the one that put the seal on, and that's why Queen Cura knows him, and he's like, I don't really know her, though. She knows him. You know what I mean? Because they kind of are, I'm pretty sure he said that. He was like, okay, and we're like, Queen Cura gave this indication that they're friends or they know each other. And he's like, huh? It's weird. So you were like, what's he hiding? Not hiding anything, he just doesn't fucking remember that she knows him somehow. You were? At first, I didn't even notice. I did fortune-telling, brewed medicine, and healed people with magic, just like now. But one day I suddenly realized, well, I had no memory of myself from before I started living in this town. Could you... Wow, that's weird. Wait a minute. Like, right now, you're like, okay, and I just... Wait. No, I can remember my childhood things. I can remember... Okay. But, like, did it freak you out for a hot second? For a hot second where you're like, wait a minute, though. Because how often do you wake up and you go about your daily business? Do you stop and go, what's my earliest memory? Do I remember this? Do I remember? You just wake up and you go on autopilot. You do your normal daily routine. We all have routines, and you start doing that. And, like, but have you ever stopped and thought, like, wait. No, I remember shit from when I was a kid. Okay. We're good. Okay. But, like, because it seems weird that, like, you were just doing shit and you didn't realize that you didn't remember. But no, you know what? That makes sense. That makes sense. It's kind of like how they'll say things like, oh, you see something weird. Okay, so perfect case, right? Because I was thinking of this earlier. Was it Halloween? Or... I don't remember when. I was recording something. Okay, so it's on record. Something, I was either recording Sims or I was recording the end of Date Everything. And I was like, that's weird. I'm like, there was a dude that just like kind of like walked past. Okay, like my window, the way it kind of looks out, I can sort of see the edge of my neighbor's patio. And then I could see like a car that's always kind of like parked there, right? Because we have like parallel parking in front of our townhouses, and then your garages are in the back. But like, so I see this guy kind of walk by, and then he kind of like goes over to the car that's there and kind of tries to like open the door. And I was like, but the way he did it was so sus. It was like, it's broad fucking daylight and my window's right here, and I'm watching this guy and I'm like, are you trying to see if... I'm like, he's probably just like waiting for someone, the owner of that car, he's probably waiting for that person, and then was like, let me just check if the door's open. You know what I mean? But, like, it just looked so weird the way he kind of, like, walked up a little slow and kind of tried to open the door. Not like, if you, with purpose, you would go and try to open the car door and you'd be like, oh, it's locked. It was just the way he did it. I'm like, it's so slow and purposeful and very bizarre. And I was like, but there is no way you're trying to, like, see if that car's open to steal something. Because, like, when I was on vacation, there must have been a temp mail driver. My mail lady said she doesn't work Wednesdays. Okay, she's now a new mail lady. She's not the same one that you always had, so she must be new. So the other lady probably retired or whatever. But she must not have been here, because for like a couple of days, packages were left on my doorstep. 5 fucking days that mail was sitting on my doorstep. Nobody stole it. Nobody broke into my house. I'm like, one thing, you're lucky nobody stole those packages. 2, that's a clear indicator to anyone that was casing anything that, like, that person's not home. They could have broken into my fucking house. Obviously, I live in a good neighborhood where people are like, oh, okay, and just assumed it was mail from that day and didn't notice that mail kept piling up. They kept leaving boxes on my door, right? So, thank God. So I'm like, I don't think I live in a neighborhood with broad daylight you'd be trying to break into someone's car, but it just looked weird, right? So, like, anyway, I remember noticing that and going, huh, it was just the way he did it was really weird. Like, he was trying not to, like, look suspicious, but it made him look suspicious? I don't know. And I'm like, I'm sure he just knows that person is probably like, oh, I'm waiting for them, and let me open and see if the door's unlocked, or whatever. You know? Or maybe, I don't know. But then, no lie, the other day, literally like a day or two later, I'm sitting there and I watched this guy kind of like walk kind of fast past my window or whatever. And I thought I heard something. So I thought, oh, maybe he's a delivery person and he's dropping something off. Right. And then he kind of walked away, kind of up to my neighbor. It looked like he was walking up to my neighbor's thing because I wasn't like, I was standing somewhere else. But again, I just happened to be looking at my window. I feel like I'm sort of busybody, even though this was accidental. And then again, he walks over to that same car and tries to open it. And I'm like, how weird is it that I just saw two different people try to open that damn car? Like on two different days. And then he gets into a van or a car that kind of pulls up and then they drive away. And I'm like, is that his car? Was he checking to make sure it's locked? Like, and maybe I don't know. Maybe they're roommates and they lived here, but it just seemed fucking weird. And I was like, if a car got broken into and the cops came to me and asked, I'd be like, yeah, I saw a guy going up, and they'd be like, what did he look like? And I'd be like, you know what? I really have no fucking idea. I really have no fucking idea what the first guy looked like. And I'm thinking, like, did he have like darker hair and was he wearing a gray hoodie? But like, I mean, obviously I couldn't really see his face, but I'm like, I don't think I could pick him out of a lineup. I couldn't describe him. I can't even tell you what he was wearing or anything because, like, I didn't pay attention to that. You know what I mean? So it's one of those things like this, like you're doing stuff and then you're like, so do you remember your past? Wait, no. You know what I mean? So I can't blame T. Follett for, like, not thinking about it because, you know? It's always like when you watch cop shows and they're like, wait, I remember the license plate. Are you kidding? I can barely remember my last name sometimes. And you remember a license plate that drove past you? Listen, unless it's neon orange and says Big Dickus and you're like, ha ha ha, that's funny. Why would you remember a license plate? You know what I mean? I mean, you're going to remember random stuff because you're going to be like, oh, I remember that truck because it had balls hanging from the back of it like a douche-mobile. You know, you remember certain things, but like most things you probably don't remember. You know, where were you 3 Tuesdays ago? You're like, what was 3 Tuesdays ago? You're like, how would I know? I don't even know what 3 Tuesdays ago was. I only know it's Tuesday because you told me. If you told me what were you doing 17 days ago, I'd have to figure out what the fuck day is today and backtrack 17 days and then try to I can't remember what I did yesterday. So I can't really blame T. Follett for not realizing that he had amnesia. Cause, you know, interesting. Oh no. No need to worry. I'm not bothered by it anymore. Really? I've already given up. Given up? That doesn't affect my life. And what if the memories I lost were bad ones? Well, you're gonna remember sealing those demos. Yeah, and I feel like maybe he recognized it because he walked in and there was something weird about it. You know what I mean? The way he stared at it wasn't just like, oh my god, this is a magic circle. It was like, shh, wait. I like my life here. It's fun and I have no inconveniences. Well, you will shortly, because we're going to crack open that little memory. T. Follett, he didn't seem sad or troubled at all. Except, if that were true, then why did you decide to tell me about it? Ooh, look at his face right now. He's like, what? Caught me? In that moment, I noticed that his fingertips holding the cup tensed. His fingers, not his fingertips. Well, yeah. Good question. He made a slightly wry smile and tilted his head. See the ocean from the window? No, because the windows are way the fuck up there, and I'm way the fuck down here at what is probably the table behind you. Mm-hmm. Ships arrive and depart from here every single day. Yeah. Sometimes Chalet talks about the country he's from. Oh. This is a multicultural town. You'll find clothes and food from various nations. And sometimes it makes me wonder if I'm real or not. Do I even belong here? Huh, interesting. As I said earlier, life's good here. I'm enjoying it. Except for the fact that you're ready to peace out. Yeah, I'm not. You keep saying different things and the pieces don't fit together, bro. But then again, that's because you're missing a lot. Sometimes I think about it. Tiferet, I was shocked. Waves of regret crashed onto me. Yeah, onto me. He never even hinted this before, and I realized how I knew nothing about him. His suicidal words would often irritate me, but I could now say that it probably rooted from what he had lost. There you go again, making that face. Huh? Oh, maybe I shouldn't have told you. I didn't want you to look so grave. I just felt like maybe I could tell you. Glad he did, though. I mean, obviously, because, like, now we know that there's a mystery and he's the one that did the ceiling thingy. And, that all makes sense now. I didn't know how to respond. Was I supposed to say thank you or something? Sorry. I'm the one who should be sorry. Don't worry about it. But Tiferet... Everyone... Oh, that's me. Everyone needs a place to belong to. His golden eyes opened wide. This was the first time he looked so surprised. I lost my village to war before I came here, so I know how you feel. Actually, no. I think you're more anxious than I am because you have no memory. But if there's anything I can do, I want to help you get your memory back. What? I don't think I can do much, though. The cursed sword is still unstable, so... CG, is he gonna kiss me now? Oh! Look at the way he's grabbing our hand. He has a glove on one hand and not on the other. Thank you. Yeah, because I think our hand's in the middle of those hands. Suddenly, Tiferet drew his face close to mine, making me almost stand up from my seat. Perhaps I've been waiting for someone who would say that to me. Tiferet? I'm glad I decided to tell you. Like, you're getting awfully romantic with me so fast, sir. I felt like I could get lost in those eyes. Tifelet's eyes resembled the moonlight shining silently in the darkness. They are drawn beautifully. The glimmer it made reminded me of unpolished silver, and it captivated me. It was fascinating. You could keep the CGs up more than 2 seconds, but... Oh, his sprite's pretty. Hey. Would you despise me if I used to be a terrible person before I came here? Why would I? You're like, I basically was gonna marry the man that killed my dad, so I'm not really sure what you could do that's worse than that, to be fair. And, like, let's be real. I generally like trash. And again, I was ready to run off and be happy with the guy who killed my dad. And while that sounds like a stupid fucking thing to do, like, what is wrong with you? And while I was on that track too, like, I don't think I could, you know what, I forgive him, it's fine. That's exactly how it went. So, whatever you did, it's cool. You didn't kill my dad, so, whatever. What's the worst that's gonna happen? You're my brother? Because that's not bad, that's a good thing. Oh my god, you're my brother, and now we're in love, and we're gonna, like... I mean, that would just be... The game's not gonna give me that, but, like... Seriously, what's the worst thing you could have possibly done? You murdered a bunch of people? We forgave Guido for that. We're like, oh man, I mean... It's war, like, whatever. And, again... The worst thing you could have possibly done to make me be like, fuck no, what the hell, is kill my dad. And we were like, fuck no, what? Actually, you know what? I'm okay with it, I guess. Huh? Who would have known? What ifs? So yeah. I don't know how they can make it like, but I don't know. You know what I mean? So his hand felt cold. His skin was smooth like a wax statue. Even his fingers were shaped so beautifully they could have been crafted. What if I was some cruel serial killer? What have I committed an unforgivable crime? Again, I'd forgive you, because I already did that. My memory was locked away as part of a punishment. That's not possible. Really? I'm sure it was some kind of accident. Okay, so wouldn't say we know, because we don't know, but we kind of know. You know what I mean? Like, they have not 100% told us that he's the one that created that seal that locked the Deimos away 100 years ago, and now he's just forgotten everything. But I feel like that's pretty apparent, and it was also in the last part, before we knew he doesn't have a memory, when Mephisto was like, oh, some mage gave up a lot for this, and then kind of like looked it up. Just the way they wrote that line, you were like, it was Tifalet, wasn't it? And now we forgot. Okay, so him being like, I don't have any memory, you're like, yeah, that makes sense. That tracks. Exactly. Okay, exactly as we were expecting. Sure. But, so, okay, right now, what we know about that is you sealed away the Deimos to protect people, so you didn't do anything bad, so why would we hate you for that? Now, what if it would, I can't see, the only thing I could see that would be like, oh my god, Tifalet was a horrible person that we'll forgive you for, because obvious, is if you were the one that killed all of the people in that war and created the Deimos to begin with. And then somehow were manipulated and forced into sealing them away. You know what I mean? That would be the only thing, is like, you're the reason they exist. Oh no! But then why would you seal them away? You know? It would have been like, oh, we captured him and threatened to kill him unless he did this, and so he sealed them away, and then he lost his memory, and now he's just a docile member of society. But totally was a serial killer, kind of, sort of, beforehand. He was a Deimos maker, or whatever. That's the only thing I could see that you would have done bad, and we'd be like, anyway, can we make out now? So, again, we're totally cool with running away with the man who killed our father, so you can only go up from there. So bad! I really do like Nikke. Nikke's route was good, but I'm just saying, that's probably the worst thing you could do, so, anyway. Maybe you're so anxious that you're being pessimistic. I mean, he does want to die, so, like, yeah, fits. You think so? Yes. Yeah, you're right. Then he moved away from me. I felt all the tension in my body release. Thank you. I feel more confident now. Tifalet, I'll try to look for a way to get my memories back starting tomorrow. I have no clue on where to start, though. He smiled. My heart was beating so fast it felt like it was about to burst, and my body grew hot. Oh, next chapter! The downpour of stars. That sounds pretty. What you looking at me for? Oh, I'm sorry. Transitions! The bird was disappointed in me. He's like, looked at me like, excuse me? Are you not gonna do your transitions thing? Sorry. Well, I'm in class duty, so I'm off. Okay, see you in class. Oh, maybe I should drop by the library. I have amnesia. Last night was such a hectic one. The fact that Tifalet had amnesia was shocking enough, but him holding my hand and looking into my eyes made it worse. No, you were like, I'm gonna die. That made it better, but, you know, made my heart race. Do I even belong here? I wonder how it feels to have no memories. Tifalet. It was almost impossible to tell what a person was like from their appearance alone. At the very least, Tifalet never appeared to be troubled by anything. It felt like he had everything figured out. Maybe Mephisto could give me some good advice. No, that'll go over well. I doubt it, though. Okay, so here's the weird thing, though, right? So, if Tifalet is the one who created the seal, and Mephisto, remember, was like, Oh, well, someone sacrificed a lot to make that seal. Haha, you. What? Is he being kind of... I mean, we're like, Mephisto's like that to everyone, but it seems like he's being a little extra harsh to, like, Tifalet. He's like, I'm not going to apologize to him, and I'm not going to be nice to him. I mean, it could just be like Mephisto being like, I'm just gonna be myself. So like, no, I'm not gonna be like, are you okay, Tifalet? How you doing, sweetie? Oh, do you want a little head pat? You know what I mean? Where everybody else, he's like, hey, good morning. You know what I mean? He's not gonna treat him extra special. But it's almost like, is he mad at him? Like, did Tifalet do something wrong? Oh, the music is janky. Oh, dear God. It was totally fine before, but anyway, whatever. Just deal with it. You know what I mean? So, like, Mephisto's attitude toward Tifalet would almost be like, instead of being like, or maybe he's just like, okay, he created the seal and I'm mad because he showed back up here and he could unseal it and, you know, shit. That's not a good thing. You know what I mean? By accident, like not really meaning to. So, like, maybe he doesn't hate him. He's just indifferent to him. But also, like, if you're grateful to him for having sealed everything, why are you acting weird to him? I don't know. You know what I mean? So there's definitely something else going on. Hold on. It's getting really annoying because I had to start and I sat there for about 15, 20 seconds and I'm like, it's janky. And then I started a new one. Nope, it's janky. And I had to do it a third time. So it's really kind of irritating. And it's probably going to get janky 2 minutes in, even though it's fine right now. But like, what the fuck ever. I do not fucking understand. But anyway. Anyway, talking about Mephisto, I doubt it though. Okay. For now, I should go to the library and look for books on the subject. I am Tisha. Good morning. Are you headed to class already? When I stepped into the hallway, Instructor Mio was standing next to the door. Okay, what role has she got in this story? Because, like, she's in this part a lot. Like, his, you know? Good morning, Instructor. I was thinking about going to the library first. Ah, then I'm glad I caught you in time. Did you need something from me? Yes. Then Instructor Mia looked behind her. I wonder what it is. There's something I'd like to ask you to do. Can you come to classroom 5 tonight at 10? Huh? Just so you're aware, this is a personal favor, so please keep it a secret. I understand. It shouldn't be dangerous or anything. I'll go over the details tonight. Yeah. 10 o'clock. Don't forget. I stood there until the instructor turned the corner and went out of sight. That was unexpected. Instructor Mia just asked me to do a personal favor? She was the housemaster for the girls' dorm, so I greet her often. I also took some of her classes, but that was it. What could it be? Seriously, what is it? I'm curious, are we going? Okay, so we didn't go, okay, we don't have to have time in the library. Good, tell me what it is. I'm antsy. Oh. I entered classroom 5 a few minutes before 10 p.m., but the instructor was already there. The lights were off, but the moonlight was enough to illuminate the room sufficiently. Thank you for coming. So what did you want me to do? Instructor Mia looked different from usual. She was acting calm, but I could see slight anxiety and anger in her eyes. Okay, you better not be telling me off because you're in love with Mephisto, because there's going to be an instructor down. Someone's going to go missing. Uh-oh. You seem close with Mephisto. Huh? She said something completely unexpected, and it left me dumbfounded. Is she in love with him? I can't. No, you can't do that. You can't take that weirdo from me. It's not going to work. I don't know. Nuh-uh. Actually, we're not that close. There's the Lunaria flowers, and we do talk a little more often about the cursed sword than I do with other students, but... I see. I quietly waited for her to continue. Why would you bring up Mephisto? Wait, how is she related to... Do you know the strange game the children in the town play? Huh? another unexpected question. I took a step backwards. I wondered how Mephisto and the game were connected. Okay, that I'll buy, that he's somehow connected to the game because he's strange, but... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, right. Wait. Follow me here. Okay. I was thinking about the game in my head because it keeps being brought up, and the game is like, oh, it's like they're drawing a demon circle or whatever, right? Maybe she's like, you're close with Mephisto. Maybe she's sus of him. Because, okay, wait. Right? Hold on. So Mephisto put a magic circle around the Deimos to keep them trapped in there, right? What if Mephisto taught the kids this little magic circle game? So they're drawing the magic circle, which is also helping to strengthen the seal on the Deimos. You know what I mean? So, like, the kids are doing it without, they're like, oh, we're playing this game, and you see this weird magic circle around, and it's just an extra added little layer of protection, and she's sus about it because she doesn't know about what's locked there because she's not supposed to. You know what I mean? I was kind of wondering how the children's game tied into this because I was thinking about it in my head before when we were talking to Tifalet or whatever, and I was like, something over like, the magic circles that the kids draw have something to do with this, obviously something to do with this route, but I was like, probably, like, my brain wasn't quite there, but the second she brought it up, I was like, that's the missing, that's it. Like, it's, like, because I was like, maybe Tifalet taught them, and somehow, like, the kids are still doing it, and that has something to do with him, but he made that magic circle, but... Either Mephisto taught the kids the circle in order to enhance the protection, or Tifalet did. It has something to do with the underground, like, graveyard and the Deimos trap there or whatever. I guarantee, probably. And maybe she's sus of Mephisto. Anyway, hold on. What did I read that? Like, anyway. What's going on? What does she want me... Do you know what the game is like? The instructor asked me again. I realized that she wasn't going to let this topic go. Yes, I do. I see. What's so special about it? Only children in Frontier play that game in all of Milvaria. Yeah, so it's almost to protect. I guarantee you it's something like that. The game was never popularized in other towns except for here. I didn't play it back in my village either. And that's no ordinary game. They tell us that a demon exists somewhere in this town. Yeah, the Deimos in the okay. What? I raised my voice without meaning to, and after I shouted, I took a step back from how awkward I felt. We'd normally be punished if we talked back to an instructor. I wondered if we'd be scolded for the way I wondered if I'd be scolded for the way I yelled. That's not talking back, though. That's surprise. You're thinking that I've gone insane, aren't you? No, not at all. I'm just freaked out that there's a demon here. The instructors in Nirvana were diverse. Most of them were originally Nirvana students or soldiers of other nations. Instructor Mia was a female instructor, rare among the ranks. She only taught theory classes. Conversations with her were always dry. She never raised her voice, nor did she smile. Perhaps the way she treated me when I woke up here gave me that impression of her. In any case, the word realist would definitely describe her best. That was why I was shocked at what she said. Of course I wasn't able to poke fun at it and just stood there. And don't look at me like that. I'm fine. I'm completely calm right now. Shouldn't seem it. The demon will grant good wishes. But it'll take your soul if it's bad. Don't you think this is odd? Demons are usually beings who harm humans, yet it's different in this town. They're kind beings that grant wishes. Now, see, I feel like that circle, maybe, well, okay, it could be bad, but I was thinking maybe, again, I still think my theory is, I'm still with that one for right now, that the circle is helping to keep the Deimos in. And the children playing that game is kind of, without them knowing, enhancing that. Whether they have magical abilities or not, right? It's kind of keeping, like, that power kind of going, especially because they play it all around town. It's all in different spots. And what would you do? You tell kids, oh, you do this to keep magic demons, evil demons away. No, you'd be like, oh, if you do this, you might get the demon might pop up and then he'll grant you a wish. And then the kids will play it more often because they want a wish. You know what I mean? Like, what would you do if you were a child and you were told, oh, if you draw this magic circle, it'll keep evil away? Okay, well, maybe I don't believe in evil. But if you're like, oh, but if you draw this magic circle, a demon might appear and then he'll grant you a wish. You're like, oh, candy. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like that's kind of almost like a ploy, because like what she's saying, that doesn't make sense. Demons will grant you a wish? Yeah, in order so the kids will keep playing it, keep drawing the circle, keep enhancing the power to keep the Deimos locked down. Something like that. You know what I mean? Huh? I remembered finding it odd as well, especially when I heard the word demon in a children's game. But Nikkei didn't seem to mind it at the time, and I assumed that was just how things were. This town is a demon's favorite. Oh, no. I was in shock. As far as I knew, Instructor Mia was the last person to tell a joke in Nirvana. That was why her words scared me. There's this old story. An alchemist summoned a demon to grant a wish. The demon made a pact with the alchemist and granted their wish, in exchange for the alchemist's soul after death. So it got me thinking, could it be that the game was proof that someone in the town had made a pact with a demon? Maybe it's Tiferet. I was utterly confused. Instructor Mia's ideas were too unrealistic for me to easily believe. But I couldn't forget the children drawing that magic circle so intently. Perhaps that was why I couldn't dismiss her. I have other proof. You do? Of course, I'm not rosy-eyed enough to confirm it merely from a children's game. What's the other proof? Queen Kiora. I'm fairly certain she's made a pact with a demon. Another unexpected statement. I was speechless. Do you think Mephisto's the demon? Because I'm cool with that. But please wait. Are you sure that's not some kind of mistake? This is getting a little weird, though. She visits the underground a few times a year, deeming it as a prayer for the repose of souls. Well, she's probably strengthening or checking on the seal. Okay, that makes sense. Deeming it? You sound like she's lying. She comes here to mourn for the students. I happened to overhear her speaking with a man. And she said to him, when I die, you must fulfill the pact. That's impossible. I yelled at her reflexively again. Huh. Okay, wait. I'm trying to think about this. Okay. Well, maybe Tifalet's the demon. But, okay, it's possible that someone could have made a pact with a demon in order to be able to seal the Deimos, right? Okay. But if she's telling someone you have to keep up the pact when I die, because somebody has to keep it up in order to keep the Deimos sealed, right? If she was saying it to Tifalet, he would remember that now. He doesn't remember anything from who knows when, which we don't know how long he's been here or when he forgets things. So if he has amnesia, it's not like how long ago did Mia hear Queen Kiora say this? It has to have been somewhat recently. It can't have been 50 years ago because Mia's a human. She's not 50 years old. You know what I mean? So she would have heard them in the last, say, 5 years, right? Somewhat recently. But why would Tifalet not remember that? Now, they might remember it and he's keeping quiet, but I feel like that, I don't know. I don't know if that kind of fits with him having amnesia and everything like that. He's like, oh, and also, like, whatever, you know? But, but if she's saying that to Mephisto, I don't know. I don't know. I'm trying to. I don't know. Well, all three of them have something to do with the Deimos being trapped and the seal and all of that. We know Mephisto keeps a ward on it so people don't notice the seal or whatever. But and he said, "How do I didn't say Queen Kiora did it, but if she did, then how does Tifalet factor in?" I don't know. It's very interesting. Okay, intriguing. I don't know where this is going. Anyway, I yelled at her reflexively again. Such a kind person as her would never do anything with a demon. It was simply impossible. At least, I hoped it was. Maybe Tifalet really is a demon, because that would be like right now she's like, what? And she's being very judgy about demons. And, if he's like, what if I was evil, like a serial killer? What? No, whatevs. A demon I wouldn't tolerate. Nah, have you seen hot demons? Demons are totally in right now. Didn't we have this conversation? Didn't we already have this conversation? Did we? Wasn't it here? We were like, demons are totally in right now. So, you look up to her that much? That sounded like I don't respect her, didn't it? That's not true at all. I genuinely think she's wonderful. I'm impressed at how she's able to maintain such a long era of peace without oppression. But she's also someone whose emotions I can never gauge. Huh? She's always composed and smiling. Isn't it because that's the kind of person she is? But human beings would feel anger and sadness from time to time, yes? Instructor Mia pointed out that in spite of not showing much emotion herself, something about that felt sad to me. Instructor Mia pointed that out in spite of not showing much emotion herself. Should have read that way. Anyway, something about that felt sad to me. But that's also why I was happy to know that she made a pact with a demon. Huh? That means she has a wish she once granted, even if she had to make a pact with a demon. She suddenly became so relatable. A demon. I remembered what Instructor Mia said a few minutes ago. I was too shocked about Queen Kiora that I forgot about it, but I wondered if a demon really did exist here in Nirvana. Yes, a demon. And by that I mean someone you know very well. So you think Mephisto's the demon. What? Him and Queen Kiora were talking in the underground, away from prying eyes. Underground? At the academy? Okay, so she thinks Mephisto is the demon? But I was thinking that she thinks Mephisto is the demon, and she's saying, because she asked us how well we know Mephisto or whatever, but she's like, you have to keep the pact alive after I die. Well, okay, I was thinking like somebody to take on or whatever, but I guess that's something you would say if you made a pact with a demon. And you're like, okay, yeah, pact for peace, you're going to keep my town safe. And then, hey, even when I die and you eat my soul, you better keep that pact, because you said peace for all eternity was the pact that we made. So even if I die, you got to keep that pact alive. So I guess that could make sense. I would think it's more like she's saying, when I die, you have to keep this seal sealed, because Mephisto's the only one that can do it, because Tifalet's the one who did it, but he doesn't remember, but they can at least maintain it. And when she dies, she's like, Mephisto, you need to maintain this seal. Not, you're the demon that needs to do it. But it could be that he's the demon, which would be very interesting. Very interesting. I'm totally into it. It makes him hotter, and why can't I date him? Yes, that moldy area with the caskets. And the demon is Mephisto. Dun dun dun! Not shocked that she said that, but also, this is intriguing. This would be fun. What? After my short scream, I was left without words. Surprisingly, I couldn't think of anything to deny what she said. That cold smile he always had, how he laughed, squinted with his eyes like the most beautiful jewels in the world. Squinting with eyes like the most beautiful jewels in the world. Also, the heterochromia, totally a demon thing. Just kidding, but I always thought he was strange. No one knows his social standing or background, yet he has a special position in Nirvana. So I first thought he was Her Majesty's secret lover. Woo! But I was wrong. I tried my best to stay calm. I remember what Instructor Mia said first and tried to find parts I could disprove. You're like, her secret lover? I was wrong. Oh, thank God. I want him to be my secret lover. I even thought about laughing it off as a joke. However, when I die, you must fulfill the pact. Either way, this was too serious. If Queen Kiora actually said that, it was even worse. Now for the personal favor. Huh? I'm not going to denounce her for making a pact with that demon. I told you earlier, didn't I? I find her wonderful for doing this. At the same time, I'm jealous of her. Huh? Because I also want to make a pact with Mephisto. What? I've tried to talk to him about it, but he changes the subject each time. Could you imagine? If you know, if like the whole thing is innocuous, like we sealed the Deimos in the underground crypt, and that's what Queen Kiora is talking about. Like, I have to be the one to keep up, the seal or whatever. And she's used the word pact, whatever. And now all of a sudden Mia's like, hey, so like, I mean, like if there was like a demon here, I'd totally make a pact with him. And you're like, uh-huh. Weirdo! And you have no idea what the fuck she's on about because you're not a demon. That would be so fucking funny. I want to be a fly on the wall in those conversations, see how fucking weird it is. So that's why I need your help. Me? I don't know how you view it, but it's clear to me that Mephisto is fond of you. That's why I'd like you to ask him. Huh? But... Please. Instructor Mia gazed at me. Her expression told me she wasn't forcing me to do this by using her position. I was more worried about how pale she looked. She looked extremely troubled. There's a wish I must have granted. And to do so, I'd gladly offer the soul of mine. I am so curious as to what the fuck her thing is. We are probably a little under time because I had to stop before and like stop the thing, but we're like, I don't know if we're gonna because that scene went on a little bit, so I don't know if this one will be 2 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, so I don't want to take a chance, so we'll stop here. But like, intriguing. I wonder if Mephisto really is a demon. Maybe Tifalet's the demon and he doesn't remember anything, and like, I mean, okay, because here's the thing, Mephisto being a demon makes total fucking sense. And she's like, he's so weird and aloof and strange. And we're like, yeah, I mean, it fits. Which is why I'm like, it's probably not Mephisto, because it fits too well. And it's probably Tifalet, and you're like, what? Because that would be fucking insane, right? Huh. Interesting. This is going to be fun. Anyway, I will see you guys next time. Remember to give the video a big thumbs up and subscribe to see more.